Welcome back, horror family. It is without question Mike Flanagan has proven himself to be a powerhouse in the horror world. With the release of Haunting of Bly Manor on Netflix, based upon the 1898 Henry James book Turning of the Screw, a follow-up to Flanagan's 2018 show Haunting of Hill House, based on the gothic horror novel of the same name by Shirley Jackson, he is dispensing incredible storytelling with complex character development and hidden gems intricately placed to give viewers a fright. Though it could be said by longtime fans that he has been making atmospheric horror for decades. His adaptations of Stephen King novels Dr. Sleep and Gerald's Game were intense to say the least. Ouija Origin of Evil was an incredible prequel to the 2014 movie which improved upon its predecessor. Before I Wake is unsung and underappreciated, and his movie Hush on Netflix is a hidden gem, one of the first horror Netflix originals. We can also not forget Oculus, which in my opinion is absolutely brilliant. Its conclusion has one of the most shocking and disturbing resolutions in modern day horror. One of his original masterpieces, Absentia from 2011, stars Katie Parker, who has been in 5 of Flanagan's work. Fans of Haunting of Hill House will remember her as the ever-creepy Poppy Hill. Absentia is about a young girl, Callie, coming to live with her pregnant sister, Trisha, who is about to have her husband declared deceased by absentia. Trisha's husband, Daniel, has been missing for 7 years, and throughout the beginning of the film, she visualizes an apparition of him in her peripheral vision every day. Callie one day goes for a run and travels through a long tunnel that bores underneath the underpass of a highway. On her return back, there is a bloody man who calls to Callie. She acknowledges the man and apologizes for not immediately willing to help. He is surprised and weakly whispers to her, "You can see me?" Begging for her to trade something, she moves along, ignoring his pleas. Later that night, with a strong surge of guilt for abandoning someone in need, which goes against her Christian beliefs, she leaves food at the beginning of the tunnel. Daniel shortly after returns, which unravels a complex development between Callie, who never told anyone about the man she saw, and her continuous drug use is exposed to her sister and the police. As the plot develops, it is learned that a creature lives in the tunnel that kidnaps people and likes to trade objects. Callie, desperate to get her sister to believe her after witnessing it come back to retrieve Daniel, discovers these abductions have been going on in the area for hundreds of years. Absentia has very deep allegorical tones with the story The Three Billy Goats Gruff, and it is implied that what is in the tunnel is a type of troll. Though the creature was described by Daniel that it looks much different, having a body that is similar to an insect and skin like a silverfish. Troll is a term used to describe supernatural beings in Nordic folklore with roots in Norse mythology. Hundreds of years ago, it was a common belief that when a person disappeared, they were taken by trolls or giants or elves and held captive in a mountain or hill, similar to the hill the path bore through that the overpass was built on. Swedish church records state that captives could trick their way out and escape with a lot of gold, which could explain the jewelry that Callie found in her bed after she traded with the creature by leaving food at the foot of the tunnel. Records also explain that people who were able to escape lost their memory and couldn't remember where they were or even how they got out, as Daniel displayed. There were, however, ways to protect yourself against these dangers. Pregnant women or women who just gave birth could wear a piece of clothing from their husband, giving reason why the creature took Trisha shortly after she removed her wedding ring following her attempt to move on. Tales from Norway explain that a troll could be killed if a Christian person shouted their name. Callie was attempting to dig up evidence on the creature in the tunnel, and we know she traded with it, which is probably why she wasn't taken immediately, but her faith combined with the fact she was trying to expose the monster could be the reason it took her and did not release her sister. The creature could have also been a Bogart, a myth from English folklore, inhabiting fields, marshes, or other topographical features. It is said that Bogarts living in marshes or holes in the ground are often attributed with evil doings such as abduction and malevolent action. It may have also been a Pukwudgie, a creature found in Delaware and Wampanoag folklore that could appear and disappear at will, luring people to their deaths. According to lore, a person who annoyed or disturbed a Pukwudgie would be subjected to nasty tricks and followed by their eventual kidnapping. While watching this movie for the second time, I had another idea what this monster may have been. not with roots in old folklore, but another being with similar allegory and reference to the three billy goats gruff. What if the monster was one of the demon elementals from the Stephen King verse, originating from the same darkness and possibly being that of the same species as Pennywise the Clown in The Crimson King? In King lore, the 6 great demon elementals, as described by Mia in Song of Susanna, are not one of the beam guardians. They were created in a void outside of our known universe known as the Macroverse, and have various abilities. They are said to be spider-like entities that feast either on fear or flesh of people saturated with fear. We see the creature in the film take people into its own realm, an offshoot of our reality, which it created under the hill, very much like the main hall the losers find themselves in under Derry at the end of the novel It, where the creature lives. This creature in Absentia could feast on the fear of its captives, and unlike Pennywise, who haunts an entire town, the monster from Absentia may be a weaker variation, deciding to centralize its hunting ground to just the tunnel under the hill. When Callie runs past the man who is astonished and relieved she can see him, he also says, "It must be asleep." In It, Pennywise sleeps every 25 to 27 years, where a significant drop in death rates can be tracked, showing that the manipulation the monster has on the town may have weakened. The monster in Absentia possibly rests for shorter periods, leaving its prey a small window of opportunity to escape, though they may be too weak and afraid to take the opportunity. Similar to It, there is also a direct control of the people in order to avoid exposure, with the people of Derry turning a blind eye to the horrific deaths of children, and the high mortality rates never reaching national attention. We witness this in Absentia, when Trisha attempts to justify not only Daniel's first disappearance, but blames her sister's drug problem on his second. And a similar situation with Detective Mallory, who creates multiple stories in his head for both sisters' disappearances at the end of the film. I know this was a way for the story to make the viewer question if what they are seeing is real, and perhaps all the occurrences could be rationalized, but this could also be the influence of the monster hiding in the tunnel to avoid being revealed. I also noticed that when Callie ran for the first time through the tunnel, there was a spider in a web at the roof of the tunnel. When she returned through the tunnel at the end of her jog, the spider was gone. Shortly after, she saw the man Walter begging for help. This could be symbolic, as the creature was asleep and not watching over its web or the underlying world it creates, where it holds its victims, giving Walter the ability to unknowingly escape. It was interesting to watch on my second run through with the concept that this creature could have relations to the monster from It. People disappear without a trace every day, and though some can be explained, there are many disappearances that cannot be rationally described. What if these obscure abductions are the cause of visceral beings living beneath the veneer of our world, their victims unseen, calling for help from an outside macroverse, being tormented and abused? Either way, the monster from Absentia either being a troll or one of the demon elementals from Stephen King's universe. It is frightening to think that each one of us is moments away from being grabbed by one of these forces, never to be found again. What do you think the monster from Absentia was? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Stay scared.